up, YouTube? So as soon as these little bastards had cooled off, I had about 3 or 4 or 5 of them. Hard-boiled eggs are pretty delicious. And literally, some people, when they make them, YouTube, they will take the shell off before they serve them. Not me, I'm just like, fuck it. After I had like 5 of them, I think, or 4 or 5 of them, I stuck them in the fridge for later. Excuse me. And, well, that hard-boiled egg video of mine took forever to upload. Holy shit. But it finally uploaded. And of course, while my phone was uploading my latest cooking video, I figured I'll have a couple of eggs off camera and then eat a cup, like 1 or 2 on camera, you know. Yeah, I think I had like 4. Because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Actually, yeah, I had 5 eggs off camera real quick before filming this video right here, because there were 12 eggs altogether, and if there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 eggs left, then I deduce that 5 eggs have been eaten. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yep. That's basic math right there, folks. One person asked me a good question on one of my newer videos. They asked me, they have a Dr. Grabo, and they're asking me how to make it hit better. Thing of it is I haven't had a Dr. Grabo in quite some time. None of my pipes are Dr. Grabos. My newest pipe I got from the Ash cigar store. You want tips for making your pipe hit better? Make sure your stem is unclogged. Make sure that all the airways from that bottom part of your bowl through to your stem, make sure all that's unclogged. Second thing you want to do is make sure that stem's on there nice and tight. If the stem's not on there nice and tight, then that could be why you're getting bad airflow. Another thing that could be affecting your airflow is a defective pipe. That does happen from time to time, unfortunately, when you're buying any product. Sometimes you go to buy a product and sometimes the product's faulty or defective. You know, it happens. But you want your pipe to hit better. Just make sure that you're unclogged. Make sure your pipe's not clogged anywhere. And make sure the stem's on there nice and tight. If you go to take a draw on your pipe, and if you wrap your fingers around the space between the stem and the bowl itself, you know, and you draw on it, and yeah, I'll show you what I mean here in a minute, but I wanted to at least showcase one of my boiled eggs on camera. See, I would have done this earlier, but while I was uploading my my cooking video where I show y'all how to make hard-boiled eggs, literally, I went to go film a video in Photo Booth, and Photo Booth decided to freeze up on me. And I'm like, well, I can't really have this, can I? Anytime anyone gets sick and they on YouTube making a video, people gotta leave disgusting comments. Disgusting and hateful and just downright stupid comments. And what do? Well, do what I do. You monitorize your comments, and any negative comments or comments that aren't true, you just delete them, you know. But if you get like a positive comment on your video or two, then you keep it. Simple as that. Part of the fun of creating fake accounts to bully me on YouTube is to be able to do it publicly on my YouTube page. And when you make your comments approved only, that means that whoever created all these fake ass accounts making fun of me, they can keep doing it. YouTube's not going to stop that. But if they can't openly comment on my videos anymore, because as soon as they comment anything stupid with a fake account making fun of me, no one else will see it unless I approve it. So that kind of takes the fun out of some of what they're doing. And I've noticed that since I've made my comments approved only, I haven't seen anyone trying to make a fake account to make fun of me. And speaking of fake accounts, as I mentioned in my last video, my homeboy Scotty has tried to set me up with a couple of girls before. Every time my homeboy Scotty tries to set me up with a girl, I always get rejected. It never fucking fails. Either the girl loses interest and she backs out, or excuse me, or they lose interest and they back out, or they see my picture and they go, oh hell no. There we go. One peeled boiled egg. Like I said, boiled eggs, good source of protein. I'm actually saving the rest of these for dinner for later, so yeah. I'll be right back. Now, this could be the pipe they're talking about. Again, this is not a Dr. Grabo. And you want proof? Okay, I'll show you. Dr. Grabo's, the piece right here that connects the pipe to the stem, on Dr. Grabo's, this piece right here is made out of metal. However, the one on this one is made out of the same hard plastic as the stem itself. Okay. Now, if you're smoking your pipe and you notice that you're not getting any airflow, you're having a hard time drawing off of it, you know, make sure your stem and your shank are unclogged before you know. Or the air seal test. Okay. Let's say you go to puff on your pipe and then you take your fingers and you hold your pipe by the stem like that and start drawing on it like that. Quite often, if the stem is not fully attached to the pipe, that can restrict airflow and it can make heating your pipe a right pain in the ass. The person who asked the question was, hold on a second, let me just, okay, hold on a second. photo booth's gonna freeze up on me while I pull up the internet. It's just unavoidable. Fuck it. Okay. Excuse me. My sinuses feel pretty cleared out. For the most part. They're still a little bit stuffed up, but I'm not feeling nearly as stuffy as I was before. Oh, the video's not even going. Fucking stupid. I'll try to pull up the video. There was somebody who asked me a question about my pipe and or about pipe smoking in general, and I want to thank him for asking that question. Actually, if I can get his name. Let's see. If I go to Creator Studio, let's see. If the internet would quit being slow, that would be much appreciated. Okay. Okay. John M-A-R-I-N-I Marani. I'm not sure how you pronounce it, but he said, Josh, was wondering if you had any tips for making the Dr. Grabo Duke pipe pull any better. He says he has the same exact model and he's just wondering. Well, that's a good question, and like I said, there are several key factors. There are several key factors that could determine you from getting a proper draw on your pipe. The first thing you want to check is, like I said, make sure your stem's unclogged. That stem's unclogged. Tobacco resin smells good. Second thing you want to do is make sure that this part right here is unclogged. You notice that my pipe poker goes to the base of the bowl right here, so all you gotta do is bloop, just like that. Give it a little rotation like that. Okay. Third thing you want to make sure of is that when you go to screw your stem back into place, does it have a nice snug fit, or is it loose? The biggest contributing factor to a pipe not drawing properly is if the stem is not screwed in 100% of the way. So if your stem's loose, or if there's a gap between your stem and your stem right here and your bowl right here, if there's a gap between the shank and the stem right here, then that could also, like if there's a gap between the stem and the bowl itself, that can also affect your ability to smoke out of it. Now, if your stem is not fitting to your pipe properly, what you can do is, if you get some electrical tape and do a very thin strip around the outside of your stem right here, so when you go to screw it back into place, it should theoretically squeeze back into place. If worse comes to worse, depending on how long you've had the pipe, I'm sure you could probably get a hold of the Dr. Grabo pipe company and let them know your problem if worse comes to worse, and they'll either send you a new one or fix the one you have. Another thing you want to make sure too is, like I said, you have from the stem to the bowl, all this can get clogged up real easily. So most pipe smokers will use pipe cleaners, but I use my pipe tool and a paper clip. But this stem is fairly easy for me to unclog. That was a question someone had asked on one of my other videos. They were like, how easy is that pipe to unclog? And the answer is incredibly easy. You know, and you keep your pipe unclogged and clean of any cloggage. And if your stem's on there nice and tight, it should theoretically be unclogged or work. But if you've unclogged your stem and your shank and your bowl completely of any resin, and it's still not hitting 100% like it should be, then there might be an air leak in your stem somewhere. And that is honestly out of my control. If you're experiencing any air leak in the stem from said pipe, then your best bet would be to send it back to the Dr. Grabo company and let them deal with it. Yeah. Now, the only time you wouldn't want to use electrical tape to tape your stem to your bowl is if, when you smoke on your pipe, if the heat from the tobacco goes anywhere near your stem, then you want to avoid, because sometimes when you smoke a pipe, the bowl heats up, and then I've noticed with this pipe that the stem right here, the shank right here doesn't really heat up. The bowl is the only thing that really heats up. So yeah, this is a good pipe right here. As a matter of fact, YouTube, I feel my stuffiness slowly but surely going away. I'm not nearly as stuffed up as I was this morning. So who knows, you know, I could be over this bullshit within the next 2 days. It's not drawing properly. Hold on a second. You heard that fucker unclog, didn't you? Yeah. So there are a couple things to check if your pipe is not smoking properly, if there's a lack of, you know, a couple things you can check. Make sure your pipe's unclogged, and if it's still not hitting 100% better, you know, then there could be an air leak in your stem somewhere. Yeah. But of course, you must be 18 years of age or older to smoke tobacco in the United States. Unless you live in Dickhead, California, where they're like, oh, we're going to raise the tobacco age to 21. See, to me, that's just stupid. Okay? If you live in California and you're 18 years of age or older, you're old enough to go to war, you're old enough to die for your country, You're old enough to vote. You should be old enough to smoke tobacco. But the whole reason California State decided to raise the tobacco age to 21 is because they wanted to combat tobacco use in high schools. Which, you know, I get that, but at the same time, it's kind of fucking stupid, because, like, now all of a sudden you got these 18-year-olds who finally turned 18, who live in California, and they're, like, old enough, they were old enough, like, could you imagine when that bill passed? If an 18-year-old in California went into a convenience store to buy a pack of cigarettes, and then the next day that law passed, and then they're like, "Can I see your ID?" Well, it says you're not 21 yet, so I can't sell you any tobacco. And that person's like, "What the shit? You just sold me a pack yesterday when the law was perfectly sane." I don't know. I don't think they should raise the tobacco age to 21. I think they need to spend, instead of spending time creating bullshit bogus laws, instead of creating bullshit bogus laws like that, then you need to spend more of your resources educating young people on the dangers of tobacco. And you need to be truthful with them on that too. You can't just flat out say tobacco kills you, and you know what I'm saying, because the truth is tobacco doesn't always kill you. The truth is, YouTube, tobacco doesn't always kill you. It can come with a list of nasty ass side effects later on down the road. But the truth is, tobacco doesn't always kill you. Case in point, there was this 109-year-old man. I seen this YouTube video on the History Channel on YouTube, and this dude was the oldest World War II veteran, and this dude is 109 years old, and he smokes 12 cigars a day, drinks about 4 cups of coffee, and then some on the whiskey, and all he eats is soup and what else? I forget. But this dude's 109 years old, and he smokes 12 cigars a day. Like, holy shit, you know? And despite being 109 years old, he's still able to walk, talk, and function for himself, you know? It's all about that mindset, YouTube. And people will argue with you on this too. They'll sit there and say that tobacco is bad for you. Yes, it is, but so is just about everything else underneath the sun. So is everything else underneath the sun. People want to be like, well, tobacco can kill you. Yeah, so can just about everything else underneath the sun, including the sun itself. So, you know. That bowl of tobacco was cashed. Another thing that comes into play, YouTube, is if your pipe is not drawing like it should. Did you pack your bowl of tobacco too tight? That's something else you gotta consider too. If you pack your tobacco in your pipe way too tightly, then it will not draw, period. That's all the tobacco I got to my name at the moment. So I'm going to load this pipe up with some tobacco here. your tobacco in there, you know what I'm saying, if it's dry like this, you can just hold your hand over the bowl and sprinkle it in there just like that. And when your pipe is full of tobacco, you take a pinch and just sprinkle it in your bowl. And with each pinch, you want to very gently pack it down into the bowl. You know, if you push down as hard as you can, you'll jam the tobacco in your pipe and then it won't smoke very well. But in some cases, like this dry tobacco right here, I don't have to pack it very hard, just hard enough for it to sit in the bowl just like that. And it seems to draw just fine. And before I smoked out of it here, I took my poker, and out of habit, I take my poker, and I'll take the poker itself and poke a hole down the middle of my tobacco until it touches the bottom of the bowl, and I pull it back out just like that. That's something you can do to loosen your tobacco up. If anything, if you pack your bowl of tobacco too tight, you can always take your pipe tool, scoop up the tobacco, and, you know. So a couple of tips from one pipe smoker to another. Don't pack your bowl too tight with your smoke. And above anything else, if you do overpack it, you can take your pipe tool and you poke behind the bowl right here at the edge, right there, instead of in the middle, and you can take it and you can scoop underneath the tobacco just like that and pull back out just like that, and then very lightly tap it back down just like that. So there are a number of things that could literally prevent you from enjoying a good bowl of pipe tobacco. Char light, tap it down just like that, very lightly tap it down. And when you char light it, you get a good buildup going, and then by tamping it down, when you go to relight it, on the relight, it should just like that. Now, general rule of thumb with tobacco, as far as cigars and pipes go, you're not supposed to inhale. You're really not supposed to inhale pipe tobacco or cigar tobacco. It's more meant to be a taste sort of thing. You puff on it. But me, I don't care either way. There is no written law that says you can or cannot inhale your pipe tobacco. So really, that's just a personal preference is the way I look at it. Some people will inhale their pipe tobacco, some people won't. It's damn near 60 degrees out right now, so I literally had no problems cracking my window open while I smoke. Some people have asked the question on my YouTube channel, have you tried vaping and what do you think of it? My honest opinion with vaping is it's alright. Some of the flavors are tasty, I will admit that. But the lowest I would go on a vapor pen would have to be 15 milligrams of nicotine. It's 24 or nothing for me. If I'm the kind of person that wants to vape, I'm gonna want to get a vapor oil that has a full 24 milligrams of nicotine. But something about inhaling a water-based liquid. It just doesn't feel right to me, you know? And I tend to think that vapor pens are an inconvenient pain in the ass. You know, if you forget to charge them that day, eventually they die and you gotta recharge them. If they run out of vapor fluid, you gotta refill them. And if you don't fill your vapor pen right, or if you overfill your vapor pen, you gotta take a hit of your vapor pen and you're spitting e-liquid juice all over your tongue, and that's just nasty. Or in worst case scenario, you know, you're out of Shut up, Siri. I didn't ask you. Worst case scenario, your vapor pen dies on you, and on top of that, you're out of e-liquid, and you're having a bad fucking day, and you just want some nicotine because you're having a bad fucking day. And all of a sudden, you see someone standing outside smoking a cigarette, and temptation's gonna make you want to go, hey man, you got an extra one of those, you know? And the cool thing about smokers is that we're united, you know? You don't even have to know the person personally, you know? Fellow smokers help each other out, you know? When I'm saying YouTube, like, there's been times I've been out of cigarettes and I bum one from someone, and they're like, yeah, I got you, you know? And that's the cool thing about being a cigarette smoker, I should say, is that we look out for each other, you know? Like, we don't have to know each other personally, you know? Quite often, I'll dig cigarette butts out of the ashtray, so I can break them up into my pipe here. See, because even if the butt's got like that much tobacco left in it or that much paper left, the thing you have to the thing you have to realize is that hold on a second, let me grab. Okay, say you find. Yeah, I'll dig the cigarette butt out of my ashtray. See that? You think there's no tobacco in it. But when you give it a squeeze, watch this. Watch this. You see that? Oh, look at that. Most cigarettes will pack tobacco all the way to the back of the filter right there, just like that. And, yeah, hopefully these little tips help you out. I know when you're first new to the pipe hobby, it can be rather overwhelming. There's all these little things you gotta do, and, you know, the important thing to remember is to not let it overwhelm you and to just enjoy your smoke, you know? If you're new to the pipe tobacco hobby, the important thing to remember, YouTube, is to not let all the little things you have to do to enjoy your pipe get to you, you know. If anything, enjoy your pipe and enjoy your smoke, you know, that's the number one thing. And don't let anybody fucking tell you otherwise. There are going to be some people out there who are just complete snobs when it comes to pipe smoking. Oh, you're not a pipe smoker if you don't smoke this tobacco, or you're not a pipe smoker if you don't smoke this brand of pipe. Fuck all that, okay? There is no written law that says you have to smoke a certain tobacco or a certain pipe to be considered a pipe smoker. Like, straight up. My sinuses are starting to clear up just a little bit. Hey, that's what's up. Plus, there's a bit of classiness, I should say. There's a bit of suave sophistication and there's just something classy about smoking a pipe. You know, it says distinguished gentleman of sorts. And as a pipe smoker, there is nothing I enjoy more than going to an outdoor area where it's full of people and stuffing my pipe with the sweetest smelling pipe tobacco I have to offer, and just enjoying the fuck out of it, and letting the smell of pipe tobacco just waffle through the air. You know, I've never heard a non-smoker really complain about pipe tobacco, because usually pipe tobacco smells really good. There's one time when I ordered some tobacco off of pipesandcigars.com, back when they were still doing their create your own blend. The blend of pipe tobacco I created was 4 ounces of cherry, 4 ounces of peach, 4 ounces of chocolate, and 4 ounces of black Cavendish. 4 different flavors of pipe tobacco, and it came in a bag about yay big and about yay wide. And oh my god, YouTube, that tobacco, oh, all 4 of those flavors, okay, delicious. And my dad, honestly, he grew up around my grandparents. His parents used to be smokers, and so my dad hates the smell of tobacco, like cannot stand it, you know. But when my dad smelt the pipe tobacco I had ordered, the custom blend that I ordered, he's like, that smells really good. I'm like, well, there you go. So even if you have a non-smoker or two around you, chances are if your pipe tobacco smells sweet enough, no one's really going to complain, you know. And Dr. Grabos are good starter pipes. If you can't order them online because you don't have a credit card, if your town has a Walgreens, then usually if you're 18 years of age or older and you have your state ID with you and the money to buy it, usually Walgreens carries tobacco pipes if you don't have a cigar shop or a liquor store that carries those things. Or in my experience anyway, the Walgreens, there's 2 Walgreens here in town, and both of them carry corncob pipes and Dr. Grabo pipes. And if you're looking to get a tobacco pipe, but you don't want to break the bank, then your cheapest tobacco pipe is going to be a corncob. And I know corncobs are kind of hillbilly, you know, Farmer Joe kind of status, but I've smoked out of corncobs many a times, and, you know, if you take good care of them, you know, they're great little smokers. But the biggest problem I've had with corncob pipes is that the bowl gets too hot, and if you're not careful when the bowl gets hot, you can actually puncture the bottom of your bowl. And then you gotta buy a new one, and it's, okay. So if you're gonna get a pipe, get a wooden one. I mean, you can get a corncob if you want to. But above all, the most important rule of pipe smoking, the most important rule of pipe smoking, and it's this: you take care of your pipes, they'll last you a long ass time. Case in point, my first pipe, I was really bad about this, but my first pipe when I got it, the fucking teeth marks on my stem. And you notice that you don't have to have a death grip with your mouth to hold your pipe in your mouth, you know, just a very nice, how do you do, what's up, you know. But if you're 18 years of age or older, and you actually have a cigar store that sells pipes, it's always good to support your local cigar stores. Yep. Oh, look at that. I'm not coughing when I inhale my tobacco. That's usually a sign that whatever mild cold I might have had is starting to go away. Yeah, I'm not sure what brand of pipe this is, but this right here is my favorite shape. Straight stem, billiard, that's the shape of the bowl. The shape of the bowl is a billiard. Straight stem, billiard, smooth finish. Yeah. It did not take long for this to become my new favorite pipe. Now, the difference here, let me give you an example here. Hold on. Alright, so you see this pipe right here? The finish on this right along here is called rustic finish. And then you see sections of it where it's smooth, right here, and right along here. And does it matter if your pipe is rustic or smooth finished? No, it really doesn't. You know, the finish of the bowl doesn't really affect the smoking of it. You know, that's just a matter of personal taste. Excuse me. I'm alright with the rustic finish. There are some rustic finished pipes that look really cool. But I tend to be a fan of the smooth finish myself. How long is this video? 41 minutes. God damn it. So a 41-minute video of some basic pipe smoking tips, I guess. Until then, this is King Cobra JFS with another video. And enjoy your pipe smoke. And I will catch you all later.